but it was pretty clear that Mozgov was going to have some injury issues, and that he just wasn't the guy.
So did Kupchak think this was the savior that was going to get turn the franchise around, get everybody knocking down the gates to buy their season tickets? And
it's a contract that sort of feels that way.
Not exactly.
But nobody. One of the things I remember texting a buddy, and one of my quotes was, "Is there another Timofey Mozgov in the league that I'm not aware of?" Because we just gave this huge contract to this guy from Cleveland who
was a backup.
They didn't even play him in the playoffs.
A backup center.
They couldn't play him in the playoffs. He was part of their regular season plan, but they didn't play him in the playoffs.
Never played.
He was worthless for them. And I'm thinking, what are we doing?
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then the Luol Deng thing sort of felt like the right fit, veteran leadership, but it was too big a contract.
Yeah. Still
too long and too big.
Give Kupchak a couple of dollars, and he, I'll tell you what, goes off the deep end.
He did, and it was the nail in the coffin, because once they looked okay starting the season, and there was a few. It looked pretty good for a while, but then
10-10 after their first 20.
Yeah, and it looked promising, and then Mozgov got hurt, and there was I think another couple of injuries. I'm looking at these contracts, and so Luol Deng is owed $18 million. No, I'm sorry. He's owed $17.1 million next year. Mozgov $15.2. And then the next biggest contract is Jordan Clarkson at $11.5.
That's over $30 million for those two guys just next year.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And we're talking about the NBA luxury tax threshold next year will be $122 million. So
how many more years to go on these contracts?
That's fourth. I'd have to look at that. I don't know that. Mozgov, I think that's at least a 4-year contract. So because it's 4-year, it can be restructured. If it was shorter, it wouldn't be. You can't restructure.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and with Luol Deng, that might be a 3-year. So I think it's. I
wasn't too upset when I heard that signing. I mean, he's played some decent ball, and I thought he might be a veteran that could come in and help. But I'll tell you what, he's been a disappointment to me.
Yeah, Zubac, he could be a good player, and he's a bargain. I mean, $1 million next year on his contract. That's great. And a lot of the kids are like that. You get Randall at $4.1 million, D'Angelo Russell at 5.6. And even like we talked about last week, Nick Young seems like a bargain at 5.7. Where he fits, also he may not be here next year.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Jordan Clarkson's got the next biggest contract. So of the guys that are starting right now, you take Mozgov and you take Deng out of the mix. Clarkson, who's
highest paid,
what 25, 24.
Yeah,
he's the highest paid.
There's something wrong with our value system, man. We got the average teacher out there is probably making about $75,000 after teaching about 8 years. So, that's 18.1, 17. I'm like, oh wow.
Yeah.
And don't go to school. Drop out early and
these are crazy.
Join the
numbers,
NBA.
right?
I know. That's just
really
I'm blown away from that.
Yeah.
All the sports, and
that's why it's one and done for the college kids.
That's it.
I mean, why waste any more years?